Welcome back to the channel, and today we're looking at the brand new CJRB Hectare. It has some very classic lines, looking somewhat reminiscent of, say, the Vosteed, a Raccoon, maybe a Benchmade Bug Out. It's just a classic drop point, and it's a smart choice. It's a very popular blade shape. It's a very useful blade shape. This particular model comes in 4 different color G10s. This is the black. You also can get it yellow, pink, and green. And these only cost $50. Let's see if it's worth that price tag. Like I said, you have a nice drop point blade. This is a perfect EDC size for me, coming in at 7.34 inches with a 3.13 inch drop point of their AR RPM 9 stainless steel. Excellent budget steel. I've tested a bunch of it and I've had only good results with it. It takes a screaming sharp edge, holds it for a reasonable amount of time, especially for the price point. This one has a satin finish on it, pretty even, nice looking satin. Do have some jimping up there. I call it medium traction jimping. It does grab a hold of the thumb. Not super grippy, but not something I really care about. You have an oversized forward sharpening choil right here. You're better sharpen it all the way to where my thumbnail is before it'll start to widen up back here. I think they missed a mark right here. I think they could have made that a forward finger choil, but it's more of just an oversized sharpening choil. I think they could have came down a little bit on this. That would have been great. This one has a high flat grind that comes down to around 17 thousandths behind the edge. Why don't we see how it performs? Man, I don't know about y'all, but almost every CJRB knife I've ever gotten has been sticky sharp. They definitely know what they're doing when it comes to a sharp knife, and they leave it nice and toothy. Love that. It makes my testing so much more enjoyable, so much more easy. And yeah, it's performing really well on this cardboard. It has a little bit higher of a tip than I normally would love, but it's not that bad. Now we're going to test the ergos and see how this edge wants to bite in this piece of pine. And right away, we want it to grab the wood quickly. That's that toothiness I was talking about. And I started increasing the pressure more and more. The handle scales fill out my hand nicely. I usually prefer a contoured scale, but this one was rather comfortable. The clip stayed out of my palm. No real hot spots to speak of. They did a good job with it. It's as comfortable as a flat scaled knife could be, or at least for my hands. If you had large hands or extra large hands, your pinky may land on this little hump in the back that kind of comes up, but for my hands it was perfect. Now I was just showing you can use that tip to do a drag cut, but as you can see, I'm having to pull my hand up pretty high. It just makes it easier if it's lower. But when it comes to cutting all this other stuff on a flat cutting surface, that extra belly you get with that hard tip is really going to perform nicely. And I don't know exactly what the geometry is on this, but it feels nice and slicey. And it's not slowing down yet. I have really grown to like AR RPM 9 as a budget steel for sure, because it takes such a wicked sharp edge, and it holds it for a reasonable amount of time, especially for the price you pay for these knives. Get to the sisal rope, it's still blasting through this material. Majority of its push cuts kind of either a push cut or I'm shoving it forward into the sisal rope. Nice and crisp. It feels like it's holding that edge. And yeah, it takes me back to the RPM 9 steel. I find it holds a respectable edge. I kind of like it more than the 9CR 18 MOV that Civivi uses, or Sencut. I've had better experiences with it, and especially the newer knives coming from CJRB. I don't know if they kind of raised the HRC or not, but they just seem to get a lot sharper, and they seem to hold their edge a little bit longer. So I'm definitely fine with that. And being that it's a powdered metallurgy steel, you can get them wicked sharp, kind of like 14C. They both get really sharp. Let's check out that edge real quick. Yeah, no crazy damage or anything. No rolls. Yeah, not bad. This one has a blade hole for deployment and it's a crossbar lock. So did they nail the tension down properly on this? I gotta say, I don't know if this is their first one or not. I think it is, but man, perfect. Pull that back, beautiful. And then, yeah, it takes a lot of forward momentum to get that blade to come out. Excellent job. It's not an adjustable lock or anything, but it's got good tension. It's not overly strong. Easily reverse flick it. I can slow roll it. Can I thumb? Yeah, I can even thumb flick it. Now, one thing I wish they would have more access to that thumb hole because of these points right here. You just got to make sure you get your finger in there. I can still get it in there, no problem. But if you had fat sausage fingers, it may be difficult. You can also deploy it with the access bar also. The knife is riding on ceramic ball bearings, giving it the glassy, smooth action that you see. Now let's look at the handle. You got Peel Ply G10 that offers just the right amount of traction. It's not overly aggressive or anything. T8 construction throughout. Love seeing that. Good job, CJRB. Huge lanyard hole for all the lanyard people out there. As you can see, it is a reversible tip-up deep carry pocket clip, and it goes all the way down into the pocket. They have countersunk screws, but unfortunately, they did not countersink the pocket clip into the G10. However, I've never had any issues with theirs because they are rounded on the front of that clip. Take a look at the inside. This one is flow-through construction. You have two standoffs in the back right here. And then let's check out the inside. As you can see, they have heavy skeletonization in there to bring down the weight. And those are inset stainless steel liners. Feels nice and lightweight. Coming in at 2.67 ounces. That's awesome. Well, how's the lockup on this crossbar lock? No side to side. I can flex some if I really pull back and forth because it's a skinnier handle right here. No up and down wobble at all. And absolutely no play, no disengagement on that crossbar lock. Awesome job. The access to the crossbar lock is pretty good. These sit a little bit proud to the scales, and you have a little bit of texture on those little bars right there. Not bad to be able to get to them, pull it up, pull it down. They're rather comfortable. Three similar folders. We have the Vosteed Raccoon in the Ultem scales, and we have the QSP Canary folder with Ultem scales. They all have the same kind of vibe going. All these excellent folders, and I will have all these linked down below because this is still available. Two more popular drop points. We have the Kizer Drop Air and the Civivi Elementum. And lastly, we have the Ontario Wrap 1 and 2. Now for my nitpicks and complaints, I would have loved to see this portion right here come down enough to where this hole was completely open right here, just so it'd be easier to get to. And I would have liked to see this pocket clip inset into the G10, but like I said, it doesn't really cause that much problem because this part is rounded as well, and they have those clip screws countersunk. And I think if they would have wanted to make this even lighter, they could have went with partial stainless steel liners, just enough to house the crossbar lock to about right here. But I'm guessing they might have done that. Yeah, they did. They added that, I'm sure, to keep the balance point where it's at. Even with the full stainless steel liners, it's super lightweight, very easy to carry. And I think this is an absolute home run for them. If your hand fits in between this portion and this portion, it's going to be nice and comfortable, nice and light. It's going to carry nice in the pocket because it's rather slim. It's a nice and slicey blade. It's a very classic drop point. And overall, I like it. I like it at $50. I think it's an absolute home run. It's competing with all the big dogs. You know, the Vosteed Raccoon, the QSP knife that I showed, the Canary folder, the Elementum, and yeah, the Drop Bear as well. All these are excellent, excellent knives. It'd be hard to choose just one of these, but I'm glad I don't have to. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.